This is about the thousands of people murdered and the countless other lives destroyed. Why is...
Hey guys, I'm currently on the run from another worldly force, and I decided to hide in this really shitty pizzeria with these ugly ass animatronics. I think that one's supposed to be a girl. But what is Data Dreamer? Data Dreamer is a 3D platformer horror game that has a gameplay over horror mentality. You play as Penny, who will use her massive brain to solve problems, craft new tools, all the while being hunted down. Anyway, now last time I said, I need momentum, but real, or something, I don't remember. And guess what? I did that! To give you a basic rundown on how the old system works, and why it doesn't. The game detects the slope and its angle relative to the player's forward direction. With this, it will change the player's max walk speed through a graph. However, adjusting the max walk speed makes each slope have a set speed, meaning chaining together multiple surfaces does nothing. Not only that, but you don't gradually build speed when going down a large incline. But before we go into how I fixed it, I would like to take this opportunity to talk about line traces, because we're going to be using quite a lot. Literally, it is a line that traces from point A to point B and tells you what it detects, or you can tell it to detect something specific, and then you can get information.
Pay attention.
A lot of information, kind of overwhelming to be honest. Through this, we can basically use the same strategy, but better from earlier. Ugh. My brother's so fat. What? Essentially, it's the same graph as last time, except it's not actually changing our max speed anymore. It pushes you on the parallel direction of the slope. Now, this system is miles better because I'm competent of a human being now.
Oh no. Oh?
Half competent of a human being now. Pretty much, not only is this just miles more efficient and technically more simple, it does also make the actual functionality way better. Because with the force, it's constantly pushing you, even if you're above a certain speed, which means you can actually go down a slope like you would in real life and gradually gain the speed. Of course, there's no max speed. Probably should add that. Now, in some of these old clips, you'll notice by fucking God! Now, in these first few instances of clips, you would rotate to the rotation of the ground. However, this didn't really work because it was really fucking glitchy. I'll try and do a different system or something. I'm currently just leaving it be, and then I'll spend another 4 weeks doing this. Did I mention it took 4 weeks? I thought there was 3. Oh, that's where the third one is. Now that that's sorted, let's do something a little different, shall we? And no, there's no horror. We're not working on it yet. Calm the fuck down. Now I gotta whoa. Welcome to the first ever segment called The Suggestions. It's self-explanatory, fucking dumbass. Now, person here talks about how they were thinking of a ledge grab. They're also a Sonic fan. My brothers. A ledge grab. Wow, I have beef with these things. They're either so just fundamentally useless or hyper-specific circumstances, and I kind of want to not do hyper-specific circumstances, but I want it to be an actual movement option. Let's say you're near a cliff or something. You could either just jump off the cliff, or you could grab onto the cliff and then jump from the grab, and then you can go further off the cliff, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I don't know, I'm pretty new at this. Essentially, we're taking our main inspirations from Sonic Unleashed. As you can see, when Sonic decides to grab... Don't question why he's a wolf, by the way, just play the game. Now what Sonic's doing here is he's pulling himself towards the ledge. If you press A during the period of him dragging himself towards with his stretchy arms, Jumbo Josh will do this spin thing in the air. Jumbo Josh! And not to mention, you have several different things you can do while on a ledge. You could jump up the ledge, you could do the spinny thing I mentioned earlier, or you could jump off the ledge but sideways, or you could drop down. Riveting. Now, I'm playing with this idea, so it's not completely finished, I guess. hit my desk. I hit my desk. Holy fuck, I'm such an artist. Now, essentially, you hold a button to initiate the sensors for the ledge grab. This has 3 different line traces, forming this kind of square shape. Well, basically, it detects a corner of something. Specifics are blue detects if there's nothing, yellow detects if there's a floor, and then red detects if there's a wall, and it should line up. Essentially, when you grapple onto a ledge, you have multiple movement options. Basically, hold left or right to pull yourself in that direction. You have a lot of horizontal ground to make with that move. However, holding forwards and then jumping will make you vault, which will give you a slight speed boost. So you can chain this together and get a good start to that run, I guess. But holding S will make you jump outward from the wall you're at. But if you're not holding a direction and you jump, you just do an equivalent of a regular jump. Of course, you can just let go of your ledge grab button and just drop down. This can make some pretty interesting This has some pretty interesting gameplay. This has some pretty interesting gameplay implications because you could vault, get a boost of speed to go down a slope, which will give you more speed to then jump further to get to a different pathway or area. I'm a pioneer in my field. The AAA will crumble before me. This is where I've added another thing to Data Dreamer. Basically, when you're in the air, you have heightened rotational movement. You rotate faster in the air than you would just rotating on the ground. Where are the lights? Luckily, I have a power bank, although you're apparently supposed to throw them out every 3 years because the batteries get swollen. And apparently it's a fire hazard, but I like starting fires. I said I like starting fires. Oh, this is going to be such a controversial thing to say. Please don't get mad at me. I removed the high jump. Yeah, I just felt as if the high jump just didn't have enough, nerfs or whatever to it. I think that's the word. But basically, you might as well do a high jump if you can do any other jump at all, because there wasn't really much negatives to it, and I think it makes the whole moveset feel a little better in terms of how much you're going to use other moves. Next time on fucking devlogs, I'm actually going to start horror-related stuff. Good grief! And what's that? Another project having devlogs on it? Yeah, I sure fucking wonder. I don't know what I'm supposed to say at these outros. Make sure to hit that bell for them notifications. Give me like 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Yep.